I still remember the night I held that diamond ring in my trembling hand, my heart pounding so hard, I thought everyone in the restaurant could hear it. I had loved Stephanie for 3 years, and I truly believed she was the one. I planned the perfect proposal at our favorite restaurant in downtown Seattle, imagining her tears of joy, her excited yes, our future together. I never imagined that the woman I loved would laugh in my face when I got down on one knee, or that just 5 days later, she would be pounding on my door screaming my name like her life depended on it. Before I tell you what happened that night and how everything fell apart, I need to ask you something. Where are you watching this from? Drop your city or country in the comments. I love seeing where my stories reach. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you will want to hear how this ends. Also, smash that like button if you have ever trusted someone who turned out to be someone completely different. Now let me take you back to where it all started 3 years ago, when I first met Stephanie at a tech conference in San Francisco. It was March of 2021, when I walked into that conference hall coffee in hand, ready for another day of presentations about artificial intelligence and software development. I was 25, working as a software engineer for a small startup in Seattle, passionate about my work, but admittedly lonely. That is when I saw her. Stephanie stood near the registration desk, wearing a navy blazer and a confident smile that made my stomach flip. She had shoulder-length auburn hair and hazel eyes that seemed to catch every light in the room. She was stunning, but more than that, she seemed approachable. I gathered my courage and introduced myself. Stephanie worked in marketing for a tech startup in Portland. We started talking about the conference sessions then, about our careers, our dreams, what we wanted from life. She was smart, articulate, and genuinely seemed interested in what I had to say. We exchanged numbers and promised to stay in touch. I flew back to Seattle that evening, thinking about her smile. Our relationship developed quickly after that. We texted constantly, then started video calls that lasted hours. Within a month, I drove down to Portland to see her. We went hiking in Forest Park, had dinner at a cozy Italian restaurant, and talked until 2 in the morning. Within 3 months, she had moved to Seattle to be closer to me. She found a marketing job at another startup, and suddenly we were building a life together. Those first 2 years were wonderful. We went hiking in the Cascade Mountains on weekends. We took road trips down the Pacific Coast Highway. We cooked dinners together in my apartment, watched movies curled up on the couch, and talked about our future. Stephanie always seemed so interested in my work. She would ask detailed questions about the projects I was developing, the people I worked with, the direction of the company. I thought she was just being supportive, trying to understand my world. I loved that about her. Everything changed in March of 2024. My team and I had been developing an artificial intelligence platform for data analysis, something we had poured 2 years of our lives into. It was revolutionary, honestly. We created algorithms that could process complex datasets faster and more accurately than anything else on the market. A major corporation called Tech Venture Corp noticed. They wanted to buy our startup. The offer came in early March. $25 million for the entire company. I owned 20% of the shares, which meant I would walk away with $5 million. $5 million. I could barely process it. I had grown up in a middle-class family in Tacoma. My dad was a high school teacher. My mom, a nurse. $5 million was beyond anything I had ever imagined for myself. I told Stephanie the news in early April, sitting at our kitchen table. I was nervous, excited, overwhelmed. When I finished explaining, she jumped up and threw her arms around me. She was thrilled, talking rapidly about all the things we could do. We could buy a house, a real house, with a yard. We could travel to Europe. We could finally live the life we had always dreamed about. But there was something in her eyes, just for a second, that made me pause. She asked very specific questions about when the deal would close, what the timeline was, whether it could fall through. I told her the deal was expected to finalize at the end of May. But yes, technically, things could still go wrong until the contracts were signed. She nodded, and that strange look passed from her face. I pushed my unease aside. That same week, my best friend Marcus came over for our usual Friday night beers. Marcus had known me since college. He was a graphic designer, practical, and straightforward. As we sat on my balcony watching the city lights, I told him I was thinking about proposing to Stephanie. I expected him to be excited to clap me on the back and congratulate me. Instead, he was quiet for a moment. "Man, are you sure?" he finally said. "I mean, Stephanie is great, but have you noticed she has been asking a lot about the buyout deal lately?" I laughed it off. "She is just interested in my life, Marcus. That is what people do when they care about each other." He did not look convinced, but he did not push it. I wish now that I had listened more carefully. I went to the jewelry store the next day. I spent hours looking at rings trying to find one that felt right. I finally chose a 2-carat diamond in a platinum setting. It cost $15,000 more than I had ever spent on anything besides my car. But Stephanie deserved it. I made a reservation at the Oceanaire, the seafood restaurant where we had our first date in Seattle. Everything was planned. I even called Marcus back and practiced what I would say, rehearsing my words until they felt natural. Looking back, there were signs I should have noticed. Stephanie had always been curious about my finances, but I thought she was just planning our future together. She wanted to know who I met with, who I talked to at work. I thought she was interested in my day. Once I walked into the bedroom and saw her quickly hide her phone screen. When I asked who she was texting, she said it was just a friend from work. I believed her because I wanted to. I was in love, and love makes you blind to the things you do not want to see. Friday, April 19th, 2024. I picked Stephanie up from her apartment at 6:30 in the evening. She looked beautiful in a black dress that fell just below her knees, her hair styled in soft waves. She smiled as she got into my car, leaned over, and kissed my cheek. I felt the ring box heavy in my jacket pocket, and my heart started racing. This was it. This was the night that would change everything. We arrived at the Oceanaire at 7 o'clock. The hostess led us to a table by the window with a view of Elliott Bay. Candles flickered on white tablecloths. Soft jazz played in the background. It was perfect. Stephanie ordered the lobster. I ordered steak, though I was too nervous to be hungry. We talked about her week at work, about a project she was finishing. I tried to focus, tried to act normal, but my mind kept drifting to the ring in my pocket. After our main courses, after the server cleared our plates and brought dessert, I knew it was time. My hands were shaking as I pushed back my chair and stood up. Stephanie looked at me curious. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the small velvet box. The restaurant seemed to go quiet. I saw people at nearby tables turn to look. Someone pulled out their phone to record. I got down on one knee. "Stephanie," I said, my voice steadier than I expected. "These past 3 years have been the happiest of my life. You make me want to be a better man every single day. I cannot imagine my future without you in it. Will you marry me?" I opened the box. The diamond caught the candlelight, sparkling brilliantly. I looked up at Stephanie, waiting for her tears, her joy, her yes. But she was not smiling. She looked at the ring, then at me. For just a second, I saw something cold in her eyes, something I had never seen before. Then she laughed. Not a happy laugh, not a nervous, overwhelmed laugh. It was a quiet, almost pitying laugh, like she found something sadly amusing. "Alfred, are you serious right now?" she said softly. I felt my stomach drop. "Yes, I love you. I want us to build a life together." She laughed again, louder this time. "You really think I would marry you?" Now, before the deal even closes, I stood up slowly, confused my hand, still holding the ring box. What are you talking about?" Stephanie picked up her purse from the back of her chair. Her expression had shifted from amused to something harder, more calculating. "Alfred, let me be very clear. I have been with you because I thought you were going somewhere, and you are. But proposing now, that is just desperate." The restaurant had gone completely silent. I could feel everyone staring at us. My face burned with humiliation and confusion. "What do you mean?" I managed to say. Stephanie sighed like she was explaining something obvious to a child. "The buyout deal has not closed yet. It could fall through. Do you know how stupid it would look if I married you? And then you ended up with nothing. I have spent 3 years investing in this relationship, Alfred." I am not about to lock myself down before I know for sure you are actually worth it. Her words hit me like physical blows. Worth it. Is that what I am to you? An investment? Oh, please, do not act so surprised. She crossed her arms. You think I actually enjoyed all those boring tech talks, your obsession with coding? I played my part, Alfred. I played it well. But I am not signing up for marriage until I know exactly what I am getting. I felt like the floor had disappeared beneath me. So you never loved me? Stephanie actually shrugged. Love, Alfred, grow up. I liked you well enough. You are not terrible looking and you are stable. But love, that is a fairy tale. I was planning to say yes, in June, after the deal closes. But you just could not wait, could you? She turned and walked toward the exit. I stood there in the middle of the restaurant, still holding the ring box, feeling the weight of dozens of pitying stares. A woman at the table next to ours touched my arm gently as I passed. I am so sorry, she whispered. I paid the bill in a daze. I do not even remember driving home. When I got to my apartment, I sat on the couch and stared at the ring. The diamond that had seemed so beautiful hours ago now felt like evidence of my stupidity. 3 years. 3 years of my life given to someone who saw me as an investment portfolio. I did not cry that night. I just felt hollow, like someone had scooped out everything inside me and left an empty shell. Saturday morning, I woke up with a headache and a heart that felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. I checked my phone. No messages from Stephanie, but there was a text from Marcus sent at 11 the night before. Bro, I heard what happened. I am coming over. He showed up an hour later with pizza and beer, even though it was only 10 in the morning. I am so sorry, man, Marcus said, setting the food on my coffee table. I should have said something sooner. You knew I looked at him. I had suspicions, he admitted. She always seemed calculated. The way she talked about your career, not about you. Like you were a project she was managing. We spent the afternoon talking, and Marcus pointed out things I had been too blind to see. Stephanie had never introduced me to her family. She always said they were complicated, that she was not close to them. She refused to post couple photos on social media, claiming she valued her privacy. Whenever I tried to talk about our future beyond the immediate, she would change the subject or give vague answers. You dodged a bullet, Alfred Marcus said. Better now than after the wedding. I nodded, but knowing he was right did not make it hurt less. That afternoon my phone rang. It was Mr. Harrison, the lawyer handling the buyout deal. Alfred, I need you to come to the office. There has been a security issue. I drove to the law firm in downtown Seattle, my mind racing. Mr. Harrison met me in a conference room, with documents spread across the table. 3 weeks ago, he explained someone attempted to access confidential information about the acquisition deal. They used your login credentials and personal information to try to get into the secure server where we keep the contracts and financial details. Our security team blocked the attempt, but we have been investigating who was behind it. My blood ran cold. Someone used my credentials. Yes. Do you share your work laptop or passwords with anyone? I thought back. 2 months ago, Stephanie said her laptop had broken. She borrowed mine several times to work on her marketing projects. I had given her my password because I trusted her. I remembered walking into the bedroom once and seeing multiple browser tabs open on my laptop screens I did not recognize. When I asked, she said she was doing research for work. My girlfriend, I said slowly. Ex-girlfriend now, Stephanie. She used my laptop a few times. Mr. Harrison's expression darkened. We need to investigate this thoroughly. If she accessed confidential information, this could be corporate espionage. Our competitors would pay significant money for details about this deal. I left the office feeling sick. Stephanie had not just used me emotionally. She had tried to steal from my company. That night I lay in bed, unable to sleep, my mind working through everything. Stephanie did not just want my money after the deal closed. She was trying to get information to sell or leverage. Maybe she was working with a competitor. Maybe she planned to use the information for her own gain. Either way, I had been a fool. Sunday morning, I called Mr. Harrison and asked to speak with David Nguyen, the CEO of our startup. We had an emergency video conference. I explained everything about Stephanie, about the proposal, about her reaction. Then I proposed a plan, What if we announce that the deal fell through, I said. We post on social media, tell a few key people, let the word spread. But the deal actually continues as planned. We watch how Stephanie reacts. If she contacts me again, we will know she was only interested in the money. David was quiet for a moment. That is risky, Alfred, but it might give us the evidence we need, and it will tell you the truth about her intentions. Mr. Harrison agreed. The deal is solid. Tech Venture Corp is committed. We can let people think it fell through while we finalize everything quietly. Monday morning, April 22nd, I posted on LinkedIn. My hands shook as I typed. Sometimes things do not work out as planned. The acquisition deal I mentioned has fallen through due to unforeseen circumstances. Disappointed, but moving forward. Grateful for the lessons learned. I also sent texts to several mutual friends that Stephanie and I had people I knew would mention it to her. Then I waited. Within 2 hours, my phone buzzed. Stephanie, hey, I saw your post. I am so sorry about the deal. Are you okay? I stared at the message. Just 3 days ago, she had humiliated me in public, told me I was nothing but an investment. Now she was concerned I did not reply. She called. I let it go to voicemail. That evening, she sent a long text message. Alfred, I know I hurt you on Friday. I was stressed and said things I did not mean. Can we talk? I miss you. I blocked her number. Tuesday, she showed up at the coffee shop near my office, the place she knew I went every morning. I walked in and saw her sitting at a table by the window. When she saw me, she stood up. Alfred, please, can we just talk for 5 minutes? I walked past her to the counter, ordered my coffee, and turned to leave. She followed me outside. Please, she said again. I made a mistake. I do love you. Can we start over? I stopped and looked at her directly. You said I was an investment. You were right, and this investment has failed. Move on, Stephanie. I walked away, leaving her standing on the sidewalk. Wednesday, April 24th, Mr. Harrison called me in the afternoon. We finished the investigation. Stephanie leaked portions of the deal information to a competitor company called Nexus Tech. They tried to make a counteroffer to Tech Venture Corp, but it failed. Tech Venture is still moving forward with us, but they are pursuing legal action against Stephanie for corporate espionage. That evening, I was home, watching television, trying to distract myself, when I heard pounding on my apartment door, then shouting. Alfred, open this door, right now. It was Stephanie, but her voice was different, not sweet or manipulative, furious and desperate. I opened the door. She stood there, her hair messy, her eyes red and wild. You lied, she screamed. The deal did not fall through, did it? You lied to test me. Stephanie pushed past me into my apartment. I let her, curious to see what she would say, how far she would go. You set me up, she yelled, spinning to face me. You knew I would come back when I thought you had nothing. Do you know what you have done? Your lawyers are threatening to sue me. I could lose everything because of you. I closed the door calmly and crossed my arms. Because of me, Stephanie, you tried to steal confidential information from my company. You used me for 3 years. You admitted it yourself. I was just an investment to you. And yes, I tested you. I wanted to see if there was any part of you that actually cared about me, the person. Not my money, not my success, just me. Her expression shifted, the anger cracking slightly. She tried a different approach, softening her voice. Alfred, please. I made mistakes, but I can change. We can work this out. Do not let your lawyers do this. I will make it right. I shook my head slowly. You cannot make this right, Stephanie. You showed me exactly who you are. When you thought I had lost everything, you came back. Not because you loved me, but because you wanted to secure a backup plan or manipulate me into doing something. When you found out the deal was still happening, you came here angry. Not heartbroken, not sorry. Angry that your scheme failed. So that is it. Her voice rose again. 3 years mean nothing. 3 years meant everything to me, I said quietly. But they meant nothing to you. I loved you, Stephanie, truly loved you. And you threw it away for money that was not even yours. You need to leave now, and do not contact me again. She stood there, and I saw the realization cross her face. She had lost everything. The relationship, the money, and now potentially her freedom if the legal case went badly. She had gambled and lost. Without another word, she turned and left, slamming the door behind her. I stood alone in my apartment, listening to the silence. And for the first time in days, I felt something other than pain. I felt relief. I felt free. The following weeks were difficult but necessary. The buyout deal closed successfully on May 28th, exactly as planned. The money transferred to my account. $5 million. But looking at that number did not bring the joy I had once imagined. Money, I realized, meant nothing without someone genuine to share it with. And I would rather have nothing with the right person than everything with the wrong one. I started seeing a therapist. Her name was Dr. Patricia Chen, and she helped me work through the betrayal, the hurt, the feeling that I should have seen the signs earlier. She taught me that trusting someone is not foolish. Being trustworthy is a strength, not a weakness. Stephanie had the problem, not me. I spent more time with my family. My mother, Linda, flew up from Tacoma and stayed with me for a week. We cooked together, talked for hours, and she reminded me who I was before Stephanie. "Son," she said one evening, "as we wash dishes, you deserve someone who loves you for your heart, not your wallet. That person is out there. Do not let this experience make you cynical." Marcus and I took a trip to Hawaii in June. We surfed, hiked, sat on beaches, talking about life and what we wanted from it. He told me he was proud of how I handled everything. "You could have just let it go," he said. "But you stood up for yourself. You did not let her get away with using you." Slowly, over the summer, I began to feel like myself again. I focused on work, helping our team transition under Tech Venture Corp. I donated a portion of my buyout money to scholarship funds for students from low-income families, pursuing computer science degrees. I wanted something good to come from all of this. By August, I realized I was not angry anymore. I actually felt grateful. Stephanie had done me a favor, even if she had not meant to. She showed me what I did not want, which helped me understand what I did want. I wanted authenticity. I wanted someone who would stay when things got hard, not just when they were profitable. I wanted real love, not a business transaction. I learned that my worth is not tied to my bank account or my career success. I am valuable because of who I am, my kindness, my integrity, my capacity to love genuinely. Real love does not wait for perfect timing or financial security. Real love shows up when things fall apart, not just when they are going well. Being betrayed taught me to trust my instincts. Those little red flags I ignored were there for a reason. I will never ignore them again. And here is something that surprised me. I do not hate Stephanie anymore. I actually feel sorry for her. She is so focused on what she can get that she will never know what it means to truly give. She will never experience the peace that comes from loving someone without conditions or calculations. That is a kind of poverty no amount of money can fix. That night, when Stephanie laughed at my proposal, she thought she was rejecting me. But looking back now, I realize something. She set me free. Sometimes the worst moments in life lead to the best transformations. And I am grateful not for the pain, but for the man it helped me become. Have you ever been in a relationship where you realized the other person did not love you for who you truly are? How did you find the strength to walk away? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one, and your stories help others who might be going through something similar. And if this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Do not forget to subscribe for more real-life stories about growth, resilience, and finding yourself after heartbreak. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it reminded you that your worth is never determined by how someone else treats you. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and remember that the right person will love you for exactly who you are. Take care.